Hey guys, I went to Pine Mountain, Georgia last week and a half ago, and I took lots of pictures. Pine Mountain is kind of South Georgia, so there's not a lot of mountains that are really tall, but they're still mountains. Again, I'm from Florida, no mountains. So I took one of the pictures and I wanted to make something that looked like it. So there it is. So I'm going to show you how I did it. I'm going to show you how I did the clouds and a little stream behind the trees and between the trees and the mountain. So I will show you how I did that. All right. Okay, let's get started. What I got here is basic white, 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then I have, this is old olive that I did the trees with, and I just have that 5 3/8 by 2. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do the sky. Let me get that. All right, I did it with Night of Navy. Okay, I'm good with that. See, it's never gonna look the same, but that's okay. All right, so that part's easy. Sorry, that's Alexa telling me something. All right, so we're gonna do the mountains and the trees. So let me get, I have the old olive. This one I did with Mossy Meadow, so let me get that piece and we'll get started. Okay. So I'll do the mountains first. All right, and this is Mossy Meadow, and I'm gonna do it with early espresso. All right, there's our mountains. Clean that off. Now we'll do the trees. And I just used old olive ink on, obviously, old olive paper. Now, the reason why I came up with the idea for the stream, I had die cut the trees before and they overlapped completely the mountains. And then there was a mistake on it, so I had to peel that paper off. And then I had some left and I was like, okay, I did that. And then I was like, oh, it's too short. It leaves a little space in there. And so that's how I came up with the stream. See, accidents sometimes lead to good things. All right. Okay, and let's see. I'm just gonna try and get them as close to the top as I can. All right, there's our trees. All right, let me get my machine and we will die cut them and we'll start to finish this card. Okay, I went ahead and just die cut the mountains before I'm going to show you how I do the other one. I just want to show the difference. The mountains cut out the whole thing, as you can see. Okay, the leaves are just the top. So whatever paper you have underneath, this is still going to be there, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, so, and I didn't, obviously I just cut this the same size as my card base, so it won't be as long as you can make them. You can make them even longer. Oh, look at that, I stick that on there and then I mess it up. Okay. Using my little one here. Oh, something just crashed. Oh, it's just an extension cord. It's not a big deal. Okay, so here's our trees. A little messed up, but I'm not too worried about it. It still looks good. Okay. All right, so here's our paper. Here's our mountains. And here is our trees. So I'm gonna put those on the bottom, and then I'm gonna put the mountain. I'm gonna start with them because they go all the way to the bottom. Let's see. See, it goes all the way to the bottom, and then I'll do the mountains like that. And so you get this just a little bit there, but I just think that's so cool. And I'll show you how I did that. But I'm not sticking these down yet. I just wanna see about where I need to make my clouds. Okay, so about there. Let me just get a pencil so I can make a mark. And it's okay if the clouds go behind it too. It's not a big deal. Barely can see my marks, but they're there. All right, so I'm gonna get this is what we're using. This is the embossing paste. This is the shimmer one. My regular one dried up. So I've got another one coming my way, but the shimmer one's cool too. So, all right, so let's get started with that. Let me get the things I need for it, and I'll show you how I did it. Okay, so what I got here is a little Ziploc bag. Obviously, you could use a pastry bag with tips and stuff, but this is pretty much how that goes too. I'm just gonna take a little spoonful first. Sorry, I'm gonna cut off the corner on that. You gotta close these up. I even think I'm gonna store it inside of another Ziploc bag. Okay. All right, so here we go. Getting it right in there. And I just did, it's gonna look different. Okay, so that's all I did like that. And then you could probably use your palette knives or even your fingers and okay, so there's clouds. These are not as big as my other ones were, so I'm gonna make these a little bigger. Okay, and then I'm gonna do another one like right there. See my line for the mountain. And this does lift up your ink a little bit on there, but I like the way that it looks. Okay, so we're just gonna let that dry. I'm gonna put this inside another bag. Already got one in here, but I wanted to show you how I did it. And it still feels wet in there, so hopefully, because I have another idea on how to use the embossing paste like this. Okay, so I'm not gonna set it completely down because I think I'm gonna go over one of them. Yeah, that looks cool. And it's gonna look different every time. Obviously, this one is a little different, but you know, some people are better at using this than I am, obviously. You could stick your finger in there and just do it like that, whatever, but this is how because I wanted them to go a certain way. You saw the picture, and of how I came up with this idea. So I was just trying to do it a little bit like that picture had that I took in Pine Mountain. So yeah, okay. So we're gonna let that dry and then I'll show you how I did the rest of it. Okay, it's dry. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna glue, let me see if I can get a little closer, here we go. I'm not gonna glue this down, I'm just gonna put it at the bottom so I know where to put the mountains. And I will go get my glue. Every time I make a card, I forget something. See, it's already got some of the paste on there. All right. So here. I want it about there because I want to have my stream in there. And again, that was an accident, but all right. It's gonna be hard to stick there because I'm putting it over a cloud. I told you when I was putting it down, I think I put it too far down. All right, so there's the stream, but of course it's white paper. So I just get my Night of Navy blends and I use the light one. I'm doing more than it is probably gonna need, but I'm just, look at that. Is that not so cool? I mean, I tell everybody mistakes can lead to something really cool, and I was so excited when I thought of that. That's what it could be. So, all right, so now I'm gonna glue this down. All right, so far that's what it looks like. Okay, and then okay, I'm going to show you. I stamped the trees and die cut them, and then the fence comes from the barn dies that are in the mini catalog, the current mini catalog. And I'll show you how, because here's the die, and as you can see, it's not long enough. So I'll just show you how I did that. So let me get the stuff for that, and then we'll finish this card. Okay, I'm going to use Old Olive again for the big trees, the trees on the side. There's one, here's the two, and yes, my block is huge. I have an upcoming class, so I have a lot of the stamps on my other block, so I don't have a whole lot left. Okay, there's those. And then these are the dies for the mountains in the line of trees. And they do have these that are, there's no stamps that go with them, but you can just die cut them. I tried those ahead of time. I don't think I saved them, but I liked the smaller ones a little better than those big ones. But you could use the big ones if you wanted to. All right, I'm gonna go die cut these. You don't need to see me do that. I'll die cut those and then I'll show you how to do the fence. Here's the card with the big trees. Once I took those off, that's what led me to the stream. Okay, here's my trees. I love those. All right, and so now I'm gonna do, this is early espresso, and I'm gonna die cut the fence. See if I can get this out without going back over to my desk to get it out. All right, I'm going to have to. Okay. All right, so there's the fence. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this back on there, and I don't need to do the whole thing. I'm just gonna need like 2 of them. So okay. All right. Dies like this make a mess because there's a lot of pieces that come out. And I have an idea for this. I'll show you soon on a Halloween card. All right, so I'm gonna just glue down my trees first. Then with the barn, the barn dies, the fence, you start with the big piece, the full piece. I have another card that's popular with the barn with this fence, and this is how I did it for that too. And I just put it in the middle the best I can. You know, oh gosh, I hate when that happens. All right. My hands are so sticky. Just put this block on top of it. All right, so then we're gonna cut these. Okay, so like I was saying, I had to die cut this again because that one I messed up on a little bit, but all right, so here's another one, another die cut of the fence, but not the whole thing because I just need 2 of them. Okay, so, all right, this is the top of the fence where it sticks out just a little bit. So I'm gonna do one there. Okay. Come on, glue. Oh, there we go. It's gonna be messy. All right. So I'm just gonna lay this part right here on top of the other one that's already there, just right on top of it. Okay, so there's that side. Then this side, I'm going to do the same thing. Right on top of the other one. All right, so I'm gonna just put that on top of there, let that all dry. Okay, and then the happy birthday, that is from the Waves of Inspiration, this right here. I just have stuff all over me. And I did it on Old Olive. Let me get that, and we'll stamp it and die cut it, and then we're done. Okay, I'm gonna use the Early Espresso ink for the happy birthday. When they're skinny like this, you just want to tap down softly. That should be a little brighter than that. Let's see. There we go. I'll just show you, like if you ink this up like this, and then besides the things that are that got around the outside of it, look what happens to happy. It's just not good. So that's why I say tap down lightly on your ink pad and tap down lightly on your paper when it's skinny words and, you know, sentiments and stuff like that. Okay, so what I used, haha, big surprise, stitch rectangles for this. I'll go die cut that, put it together. I'll show you putting it on the card base, and then we're done. Okay, so I die cut that. Now, what we're gonna do here, since obviously our fence hangs over, I'm gonna just take my scissors. Ta-da! Okay, so amazingly for me, the only thing that is on dimensionals is this sentiment. Usually I use dimensionals on just about everything. But since this is like making a scenic card, all right, so there we go. The base of it is crumb cake. So I tried putting it on white and Old Navy, I say Old Navy every time. The Night of Navy, I tried to put it on all those and I just didn't really like it. Even Early Espresso, I tried it on that and I just wasn't crazy about it. And then I thought, well, I'll just use crumb cake because crumb cake goes with just about everything. And this is obviously a good birthday card for a man. So there you go. A little different, but still really one of my favorite cards I've ever done. You know, my trip to Georgia, Pine Mountain, Georgia, contributed to this. So, all right, well, I just wanted to show you the embossing paste. I've used it for lots of things. I don't think I've ever done a video of it. I have other ideas of what to do with it, so I will make sure I make some videos of that because it's a neat thing. You can use it in so many different ways. So, but I thought it was really cool to make the clouds like that. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day.